Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today let's talk about my ultimate dream handbag wish list. Now these are not bags that are currently actively on my wish list. These are not bags that I'm currently trying to track down because these, I would have to win the lottery to add all of these bags. These are the bags that I see and that I think, oh, one day I really want to add that bag to my collection. Some of these are because they're collector pieces, some of them because I would love to have and use, but they're bags I've came across and I just think one day I would like you to be in my collection. And there's probably more. I'm sure I will come across more on Instagram, on social media, on reseller sites and think, there's another one that I want in my long-term wish list. So yeah, I'll try and keep this running so I can remind myself, but for now, these are the bags one day I would love to own, and we've got the most from Chanel. And number one is a bag that I made a whole video on recently because I'm obsessing about this bag that much. It lives in there. I visit it on Fashion File, and it is of course the Chanel sequenced bag with the large CC that is in rainbow multicolours, and the background of the bag is navy. I love this bag. I love it. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I've got a whole video on it, but I just love it. The only concern I have is that it's too big. Would I use it? But the colours in it, they just draw me and I can't forget about it. I'm hoping when I'm in New York that there is one to actually physically see. This bag, yeah. Number two is a bag very like it. It's a bag that's the same size, I think, and one of you guys recently bought it and we've been chatting about this on Instagram, on DMs, and you have told me that it is quite large and you haven't actually used it that much. And I think I would probably fall into that category as well. But I also still fall into the category of I absolutely love it, and it's the Chanel supermarket bag from the Karl Lagerfeld supermarket collection, I think it was called. I just think this is cool. It's the pop art bag. I just think it's cool. And I already know that if I was to try and wear this bag crossbody, I'm going to think it's too big. I don't wear bags that much folded under my arm, but this one's just a vibe. I just think it's fabulous. And I can't, even though I think I've made videos saying I'm glad I didn't buy it, I nearly bought it because I did nearly buy it. And I am glad that I haven't bought it now because I'm not in a position of what I've spent on bags and what I'm spending to be buying bags that are almost collector's pieces. And I think that's kind of why I want this one, if I'm really honest with myself. But I love it. And it's one of those bags that I just think one day I would love to have you in my collection. And number three is right there with it. And this is definitely not on my wish list anytime soon. This may never ever come to be in my collection or actively on my wish list because it's so freaking expensive. And of course it's the Chanel Pearl Mini. I still really like this bag. I've talked about it, talked about buying it, not buying it, talked about it when we talked about the resale market. I really like it, and I know it has some haters. I know that. £16,550 was the last one that went for sale. I'm not buying that. I don't even know if I was to come into a lot of money and have a lot of money that I wasn't expecting to have. I still don't know if I'm buying that because that's huge, huge money. But I do love it, and it's a bag that I would like to have in my collection at some point. Number four is another Chanel bag, but it's a little bit easier on the old purse. And there are a couple of these on Fashion File at the minute, and whatever of these that I can find and link, I will link down below so you can see them. This is on Fashion File, and it's on Fashion File at a really reasonable price. The only reason I haven't bought it is those darned customs and taxes buying from Fashion File to bring into the UK and Ireland. It's another bag that I'm kind of hoping is in New York when I go there, and part of this is because I am a very emotional shopper and I love to shop when I am on holiday or when I'm with friends. I bought the Meredith pink Fendi baguette up there whenever we were all in London. I bought the sequenced Dior when my husband and I were in Milan. There's other bags that I've bought places that I bought the Petite Mal in the Monogram when Bestie and I were in Paris. These bags all mean something and have those connotations to me. So I'm kind of hoping that the bags I'm looking at now that I really, really like and love kind of hoping they're there in the Preloved stores in New York. And I know that that's taking a huge gamble. And I know I will normally say to you, if there's a limited edition piece, buy it, because it won't be there. And I could come back from New York and be making a video on what I bought in New York. Nothing, zero, zilch, because I thought about all these bags that were on Fashion File that were miraculously still going to be there when I happened to be there. And then they weren't, and I didn't buy any, but that's kind of what's in my mind, because I would love to buy it there, because I think that would make a real occasion out of that bag. But I really like that Chanel La Pausa bag. I think it's really something I would wear. I don't think a lot of people will like this bag or wear it, but I think I would. And number 5 is the Chanel mini reissue in the Charms collection. Now, very specific about which one. There's a few of these, and there's Charms bags that are all autumny type charms. There's one that is like a casino collection. I specifically want, because I'm not choosy or anything, but we should be choosy at these prices, but I specifically want the Chanel mini reissue in the Paris charms. Now, even on that, there's a couple of different collections of the Paris charms. I want the one with the Paris charms that were on the Chanel camera bag that I had previously, and I sold that because I don't really like the camera bag. But it was the Coco Mademoiselle mirror with her face in it. It had the Eiffel Tower, I think, on it. It had a number of Chanel-based Paris charms on it. That's the exact one that I want. Doesn't come up very often. Haven't seen it very often. And when I do see it, uber expensive. Moving on from Chanel, we will go to Hermes. And this will come as zero surprise to the vast majority of you. But one day I would really like to own an Hermes Mini Kelly in a bright colour. I kind of think maybe like a teal green, or I still think about it in like the Rose Papri, which I have the Birkin in, which is over there. And I know I have a lot of bags in that colour, so that maybe wouldn't make the most sense. It won't be a neutral, that's not what I'm drawn to. It will be a colour. I also really like Cassie Thorpe's bright orange one. I really like the Rose Extreme and the bright pink ones. But I'm also really drawn to the teal colours. I'm open to colours if Hermes gods want to listen, but it's not happening. One day I would love to have one of those. And I know a lot of you have said to me, you won't love it as much when you get it. It's annoying. It's really small. I thought I would love it and didn't love it. So there are other opinions on that. So it's another bag I've never seen. And I would really like to see before I spend that sort of money on it. But at the moment, I do think that's a bag that I would one day like to have in my long-term wish list collection. And the next from Hermes is a Constance 18, the smaller Constance. I really like it, and I know it has a big tacky H on the front of it, but I quite like a logo. So I would quite like this in the smaller size to wear crossbody. I think when I see this in my mind, I see almost like a jade tealy type colour. Although I would be open to more colours than that. But I do think I really like that bag, and I think I would like to have one of those. If this were a wish list of, let's just keep wanting and wanting and wanting, which is not healthy for any of us, I would also say a Birkin in another colour, in another bright colour, because I do really like it and it's so easy to throw in. I really like Dale's bright green one. But I have one, and I'm very lucky to have that. I went the reseller route, cost a lot of money, so I'm not going to obsess on more Birkins. But if one was to be offered to me and presented into my lap, never say never. Moving on to Dior, and I have 2 from Dior. One is a saddle bag, but I can't tell you which saddle bag. It's a saddle bag in something different. Meredith recently bought the Paris to New York one, and I did look at that and I thought that might be the version. I also really like the Bob Marley one that was released some time ago. I really like the colours in that. I think it's really cool and edgy. There are a number of limited edition ones of this that I really like. I don't know if I haven't seen the right one yet, or I haven't had it. Like the Bob Marley one, for example, I would like to physically see. That's always a problem. But I do think I would really like a funky limited edition saddlebag that is really quite fab. And, I've just thought of another one that might need to go on this list. Okay, we'll add it in just for the crack. But a saddlebag in a different print, I think I would like. And I would also really like, and this is the one of these, it's probably on my more realistic wish list for more upcoming purchases, and that is the Dior Montaigne box bag. I love this. I just think it's very like the Petite Mal, and I love that shape. I find it edgy. I find it really easy to use. It's a bag shape I really like and enjoy, so that's definitely still on my wish list. That's on my actual wish list. And the one that just came into my mind, and I can't believe I actually forgot about it, it's a mini Lady Dior wicker bag. I missed the one when I bought, I didn't miss it, I did miss it. Did I miss it? Okay. When I bought the sequenced mini Lady Dior that's over here, that was very, very expensive in Milan. I had went to Milan on planning on my wish list to get the mini Dior wicker bag in the pale pinky lilac colour. Loved it, thought it was cool. Husband hated it, just couldn't see what I was seeing at all. But when I bought that one, I said to myself, that's enough money, I'm not buying another one. I've since talked about how I kind of regret that, because yes, the wicker bag would have been another big chunk of money, but by now I would have subsumed that into my finances, and I know that's privileged position for everybody tells me that, but I know I would have, and I kind of regret not buying it. So I'm going to add on to this when there is a colour released, and I've seen the colours for this season, it's none of those, but when there is a colour released of this that I love as much as I did that one again, I think I would like to add one into my collection. Number 10 is a Loewe puzzle bag, but it's a very specific Loewe puzzle bag, and I don't know if I know which one it is yet. The ones so far that I have seen and really, really loved and would like to buy and would possibly buy if it came up pre-loved at the right price is the watermelon puzzle bag. Because I like bags that are different. I think we've established that by now. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you tan puzzle bag. That's just not what I'm going to tell you is on my long-term wish list. The watermelon puzzle bag I think is really funky, and I can imagine using it. I think it's cool. So either that one pre-loved or a tri-colour one, the one they have all the different colours of leathers that comes up maybe in a really cool combination of colours, or if they release other fun ones like the watermelon, possibly one of those. I do really like that watermelon one. Something like that. I would like a Loewe puzzle bag, but I would like it to be fun. And maybe the multicoloured ones, I'm talking myself around on this, but I do like that, and that's something that I would eventually like to have in here. Over to Gucci, and number 12 now, because we added in a sneaky one, is the Gucci print with the tiger. I don't particularly know which bag. It was a bit like the Boston Blooms bag that I bought recently. I really wanted to add the flower collection from Gucci at some point. I really like the tiger collection, and I'll put something on the screen to show you what I mean. It's the collection with the tigers coming out of the print, and I think it's fabulous. I think it came in the Jackie bag. It probably came in a few other bags. I'll show you what I mean. I really like that print. There's also a Gucci bag that, I've just thought of something else as well. I shouldn't make these videos. There's also a Gucci bag that's like a briefcase, and it has yellow on the edges of it. And I can't remember if that's the Blooms collection or the Tiger collection, but that's cool as well. Stop it, Amelia. Okay, moving on, but still on Gucci. I really like the Gucci bamboo bag that Dale has. Dale has it in the green. It's small. I think it's really cute. I think it's a vibe. I would eventually like one of those, I think. Every time I've went to buy one of those, though, the only thing I will say is I nearly bought one when I bought that Dior mini sequenced. Something else catches my attention more. Maybe because I know they're generally available at the minute, and I almost bought the orange one in Paris but then bought something else. So maybe that should be a sign, but at the minute it's still floating on my long-term list that I would like to add one to the collection. I think they're cool. I just like the wee bamboo handle and the wee turn. I just think they're cool. Moving on to Louis Vuitton, and there's not very much from Louis Vuitton, and the reason there's not very much from Louis Vuitton is Louis Vuitton's one of my favourite fashion houses. So generally when there's something I really want, I buy it. And I know that's spoiled child energy, but generally, like the Louis Vuitton leather speedy, I do really like the green one, but I'm not putting that on my long-term wish list because one of them, they're so expensive, I'm not adding another one. If money were no object, I would add the green one. I think they're really fabulous. I love that bag. The Artie Capucines, I have one, the mini Capucines, so the Petite Malle, which I adore and was on my wish list for the longest time. So Louis Vuitton is normally the one that when there's something I really love, I'll get around to go and buying it. So there's not much left that's on my I want to acquire list, but I would really like to add the Boit Chapeau, which is the hard-sided one, not the soft one, the hard-sided circle hat box bag type bag, and it has the vachetta handle. I really think that's a vibe. Being honest with you though, I want to add that as a collector's piece. I would like to have that in my collection. It's not that I see that bag and think I really want to use that bag, but I would like to have it in my collection. And I don't have too many bags like that, thankfully. But that is one that I would like to add. And what I've just came to my mind and added in from Louis Vuitton is Candice from Glam Luxe Mama. And I did talk about this when I was doing my The Bags I Would Steal from YouTubers video. Is it the Valise or the Vasette? A Valise? I'm not exactly sure what it's called. Candice's version is in the black and grey damier rabine with the colours on the corners and the colour handle. Absolutely love it, but she's told me I'm never having it. She's not selling it. I really like it in that colourway. It has to be that colourway. I know it comes in monogram. I'm not wanting the monogram. I really like that one. And I think that is a bag that eventually I would like to have in here. And last is Fendi. Can't leave out Fendi. I suddenly became a lover of Fendi. And I would really like to add at some point a mini baguette. I don't know which one. I don't know if it's a fabric, if it's a leather, if it's a sequenced. Don't know which one. But I know that one will come out that I just can't pass up. And I really want to add a mini Fendi baguette. I think they're easy to use. I do still really like the shearling one. I don't know which one is the one I want to add, but I really, really want at one point to add one of those in the longer term. And this is a bit of a wild card. I'm not decided on this yet, but I maybe would like to add a Fendi first as a statement piece. Not an everyday bag, I don't like them crossbody. It would be a going out bag, an event bag. I missed the stripe one, which I'll put a picture in. I kind of regret not buying that. I nearly bought it in Paris. They didn't get it into the store until I think the day after we left. And I'd already spent a fortune. And I didn't buy it. Kind of regret it. When you see this stripe one coming up, it's generally very expensive on the retail market. Really, really like, or resale market, sorry. Really, really like it. And that has in my mind that potentially a Fendi first at some point as a vibe type bag for going out. Although it would be competing with my Petite Mals, which I love. And that is why a lot of my other, even the sequence baguettes, don't get as much use, because I will go to those Petite Mals so often because I just love how they look with my style and with outfit. I am a big, big fan of those. So those are my long-term ultimate, what I would like to add handbags. Do you have any handbags like this? Bags that you can't add on to your wish list right now, you might never add on for some reason, for example, cost, like some of my reasons. But they're just bags that you love and eventually you would like to own one and have one. Please tell me I'm not alone in this crazy thought process. But yeah, share with me if you have any of these in the comment box. And if you've enjoyed this in any way or found it fun, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, please do consider subscribing. And if you're not done with me yet, I'm going to leave another video for you on the screen to enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching me. Please take care and I will see you again in the next one.